Hello everybody, it's the Midlands Outdoors. Welcome back to another video today. Just at a new location. By the side of me is something called Wood. There is a paintball ground just further back over that way. Got some nice open fields leading north way down. We've got a woodland right away at the back, and that's actually where we're heading. Across this field on the bridleway, then all the way to the woodland. Never been here before, but I've heard about this location when my dad used to come down to a house down to here. Someone called Cobbett. He always used to go down there to help him. But if I have been here, I can't remember it. It's been that long ago. I must have been very young if I did come here. But it's interesting to see where it goes. I think it goes across the bridleway, through the woodland, all the way around. And there is a church right away at the bottom what I might go and check out. I think if you keep on the country lanes, it goes all the way to Worcestershire. So we might check that out if we've got the time. But let's go and journey down and go and see what this place is actually like. It's going to be a nice little bike ride and some cinematics. I want a new camera today. I've got the DJI Action 4, so this is in 4K, so enjoy the footage. So here we are, just in the middle of the fields now. You can just see it's really lovely over here. We've got all the crops. Then we've got the pylons what come all the way through, come this way and go right away to the back. What a lovely bit. It's nice to come and check out something new where I've never been before. But what's interesting to see what's in that woodland there, as I've always passed it from the road but never gone over to check it out. So we'll go and have a look at that. But what we've got to do now is cycle all the way down there. It should lead us all the way around, then straight into that woodland. So let's go and check it out. So I have just noticed when coming down to it, we've got a stream what comes all the way down. This is really lovely. It goes right through the middle of the field, so I think it leads somewhere from the back down there. I'm not sure where it comes from. I might look on Google Maps a bit later on. That's the first time I've seen that coming down to here. I did come down a couple of days ago to come and check it out, but we never got to the woodland. We only come down this bit here, then we had to turn back because the weather went really horrible. But it's nice to see that stream leading all the way down. So as you can just see, we've got the stream coming down this way, goes underneath us, and it crosses that way. So I think there is two streams, so whether they link up together, I'm not too sure. But you can just see where we've come from, the nice beautiful open fields right at the back. There is another big woodland, whether that is actually Wood, right at the back where the paintball grounds are. But wow, let me know what you think of that open land now. It is really beautiful. But this is the place where we've headed to, is this woodland, because I've never been here to see it. But you see, at the moment, it reminds me of a bit of Uffmore Woods. It's really lovely in here. I think it's full of wildlife because I can hear quite a lot at the moment. So right, I've just let the horses pass on the bridge, and I've actually just noticed this. We've got this steel thing just right away here that goes all the way across. But I'll just have a view underneath it. You can just see where the stream goes. This makes you wonder how old this really is. You can tell how rusty it is onto the corner. It really does make you wonder with some of these places, like with all the fields here, back in the old days, whether there was industry here. It is so old. You can just tell by the screws there and the joints going all the way across. So it makes you wonder the date when this was actually placed here. So right, I've actually bumped into two nice locals, lived here for 16 years and told me a bit of history about the place. They said part of this really does date back really old. Somewhere down there across the main road from where we come from, if you carry down, turn left, there is like some solar panels on the field. If you carry on that field on a footpath, it will take you to a stream on the corner, and they told me there's an abandoned mill there just by the stream, and if you go down there you can actually see it. It's making me wonder if some of these old parts had connections with something like I mentioned earlier. They said some things around here date really old. I don't know too much in the history ways, So I have got the Ordnance Survey maps up for this place. Here's a screenshot for you. You can just see it has actually been wooded for many years, since 1842 to 1952. It's actually showing no wood on the map. If I scroll all the way across Mount Seg, you've even got the middle Dunclemp Farm. Scrolling all the way across, it leads to Stone. Imagine Stone really does date back. There's quite a lot of wooded areas there, more farms. It's a real interesting area this is. You can imagine there's quite a lot of history. Harvington further in the distance. You've got Harvington Ore. It says there was actually a quarry around there. So that's actually another place that I might actually cover in time, is go to Harvington and cover some history on the Hall, because it really does date back a bit. But yeah, let's go and check out the woodland and see what's to offer to see. Wow, you can just see the way this tree is actually grown right away through. Poking my camera right away up, you can actually see right away at the top. I'm not sure if you can, but right away up there is the other end for it. So something go down my throat then. But you see from the outside of it, the way it's grown right away at the top. Imagine when this was actually planted. It's got to be a really old tree. Like I mentioned, parts of this woodland really does date back. Even the locals mentioned it. That is really cool to see that. That's giving evidence this place really does date old. But you just see all the trees surrounding. Some of these are dating old there. But this section here is really beautiful. You can just see the overgrowth into the distance, all the ferns, all the trees, what I'm growing right away to the top. Got some piney trees right around to the corners. Wow, what a nice section to the woodland from where we've come from. So you can see the way the trees have changed. Then all the way to this. But the path where we need to take now is going straight away up. Should bring us to a little road, then join on to the main road, and we've got a church right away at the bottom. There is a church, if I can get to it today, which is really interesting, in the middle of a field, and that's my plan today, to get to there. But you can just see all the trees one more time on the corner. The trees down there, the nice old trees onto this corner give it an ancient feel to the woodland. Let's get the rest of the cinematics of the place and head on. Let's see if we can find our way out of here. So right guys, the video has not gone to plan. I've just got to the bottom where I need to get to, because it's the only way to get to the churches. Otherwise there's a very long bike ride around. So I think I'm going to have to change the video up a little bit. I'll tell you more about it when I get to the entrance from where we come from, but meet you in a little second. But I tried to get out and there's a massive gate blocking you from getting out. Google Maps said this is a bridleway, Obviously it's just a dead end, so meet you back at the entrance point. So well, back to the video here at the entrance from where we come from. That video did not go as planned. I was supposed to go all the way down, as Google Maps said, all through the woodland, right away to the back, and then come out onto a road, and then down by the back areas was a church, and then somewhere further back on more country roads was a church in the middle of some fields. What I might do, because I've consumed quite a lot of battery to get to the back area there, we'll come back around in a later video and go and cover those areas, because it will be a long cycle around to get to it. But where we plan to go today is actually changing the video up a little bit. We're going to Chaddesley, Corbett. Let's go and check that area out and see what's to offer down there. I think there is a church, there's lots of history. Let's get down to there. So it'll be a nice cycle now, all the way down the country roads, then all the way to Chaddesley, Corbett. Let's go. So right, coming all the way through Woodrow, I didn't stop there because there wasn't too much to see. Travelling even further down, I've just come across this. It looks like a derelict house of some kind. Well, I'm not too sure, because last time I seen this, all the stuff was all cut back. You can just see all the way through, the windows right away at the top. It does look really old. There is actually a derelict car right around the back over there. Yeah, I thought it was. It's all boarded up onto the corners, all the way around the back. You can just see the back of it on this corner. Absolutely so cool. All the way in there. Wow, this is really dating back a bit. You just smell the decay coming all the way out. I've just noticed this. Got an abandoned car just right away here. This has been here for a long time. That is absolutely crazy. But one more time, the back of the house on this corner. Wow. Check out the architecture of that pipe going all the way up. That's insane. That was really cool to see that. Imagine there's quite a lot of history behind that house. It does look really old from the outside, very decayed at the back. I did see a way into it, but I'm not going to go inside because I've got my bike. But I'll tell you what, Jules would have loved to explore that. It's been derelict for many years, and every time I've come down to see it, you know, it's always been like that. Even the car at the back, at one point you cannot get to the back. I've just seen a boat right away to the back of the gardens. It's just insane. But let's head on. We need to head to Chaddesley, Corbett now. We haven't got too long to go, but I thought I might have included that because it might not be there in much longer, to be honest. It looks like all the trees have actually been all cut back. But well, nice to see it. Here we are at Chaddesley, Corbett. We've made it just outside the church here. Got the village right away at the back. I might show you little bits and pieces of the village just on the way out before we head home. But we'll show you around the back end of the church. It is really nice. If I just look up here, just got my umbrella at the moment. We've had a really sharp shower. I think I might be able to pop it away now it's actually stopping. But you can just see this church has got some stunning architecture. You've got the patterns right away there. Patterns on the side of the windows are really stunning. And then just the archways here by the door. You can just see the way they've actually carved all this out. I think this is actually an entrance to go right away in. No, it's actually locked. I did go all the way around to try and find the door, but I've seen that one. And I think there is another one, but I think it's closed. So I'm not sure when the church here at Chaddesley, Corbett is actually open, but the architecture from the outside is really stunning. Now that is really cool. You've got this like arch coming all the way out to support the church on the side here. Many abbeys have these sort of similar architecture coming all the way down. But coming all the way around, you can see the architecture right away to the top. I did see the top of there, all the way from where I come from. I see it sticking right away out. And then you've got the weathercock right away at the top. And then you've got the bell tower right the way there. It's a shame it's not open. I bet it's really cool inside this one. So we might come back at a later date and see if we can actually go inside this one. But we'll show you around this in a little while. But you can just see even the gravestones on the outside are really dating old, 1903. This one's actually 1901. Wow, what's this one here? 1893. That's dating way behind, I think. But just coming to this side here, you can see this one's really dating back a bit. This one's 1796, James Rose. You've got Henry Rose there, that's 1740. Wow, that is a really old one, that is. I'm not sure if there's any other old ones. That one's possibly dating way back a bit once more. You can just see the name is faded all the way out. I think that's 1819. If I am correct, because you see there, one, I don't know if that's a 9 or 0, or is that 1810? It might be 1810. It's very hard to read because it's faded out really bad. But like I say before, all the churches where you find tons of history to when the village actually really dated back. You imagine the 1700s when this church was here and you had all the village. Most of the buildings opposite are really old. I'll show you those ones on the way out. Let's have an explore of the outside of the church and enjoy the cinematics. And then going all the way up there, so it says this community is recorded in the Domesday Book of 1086 to 1986. Really does date back a bit. So right, just walking further down the road, I did see this building here. This one really does date back a bit, but just by the side of me I've just noticed this one, Spalding House. It says on the top AD 1894, Chaddesley Corbett Boys School. So this used to be a school back in the days. You can just see the architecture of the building, how far it really does date back. Got even more onto the corner. This one coming up looks really old. You can just tell by the architecture right away at the top. Got an old cottage right away here. That's a nice cottage. Well, that one there is really cool. There we go, that one. That is a really stunning building right away at the top. You can just see there is some patterns at the top of the building. Got some nice architecture. This one here next door is also old. It's got a date on today, if I'll get a bit closer. 1785. It's got a date right around top about something. You just tell by the brick how far it really does date back. Got some small cottages right away down. Every building down here just really does look like it's got some very old history behind it. Even this one in the corner, all the old wooden beams at the top. Got the paint at the bottom here, you can see where all the black paint is. Imagine all that wood behind that is really old. It's been painted over to protect it. And even on the other side, that one's also the same. Journeying further down, there is even more old buildings. You can see we're coming past the Swan Pub. Imagine the Swan Pub's got more history, another old building. But even that one there. Oh well, got a butcher's right around the corner. Nice little butcher's with an old building. Even more old buildings just down onto this. So it's nice to see Chaddesley Corbett all together. Lots of history down here, really does date back a bit. But like I mentioned, I will come back down and do a full history video on this place. But right, let's go and head home now. I've got a long journey. I've also got some bike problems. So I'm having a bit of issue with the derailleur at the moment. So I've had to call a nice chat B cycle, so we might be fitting a new one hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But with the trouble with this, I'm going to have to get back home with it just in case. But it's been a nice visit all the way down to Chaddesley Corbett to see all the history, some of the old buildings and quite a lot of stuff down on the bottom there. But for the meantime, I will see you soon. The Midlands Outdoors. I hope you enjoyed the camera footage as well, new camera, the Action 4. Let me know what you think about it. Do you want to see it in future content? But yeah, it's going to head home. Nice cycle now for the rest of Chaddesley Corbett all the way down.